Hello dear children, good morning. Today I am going to start with the reading part of your second lesson, Gulliver Arrives in Lilliput. So all of you open page number 14, chapter 2, Gulliver Arrives in Lilliput. Gulliver, Gulliver, Arrives, arrives in Lilliput, Lilliput, written by Jonathan Swift, Jonathan, Jonathan, Swift, Swift. Okay, see this passage, passage is an adaptation, adaptation of an excerpt from the famous novel Gulliver's Travels, written nearly 300 years ago by Jonathan Swift. Travel books were popular at that time, and this incredible incredible story describes describes the strange strange and fantastic fantastic travels of Lemuel Gulliver to different lands. I was the youngest, youngest of 5 brothers, and had to leave school at the age of 17 because because my father could not afford afford to pay my school fees. It was decided decided that I should take up the life of a seaman, seaman, and so it was that I went aboard aboard the Antelope, Antelope, which was sailing sailing out to the South Seas. The ship set sail from Bristol in May 1700. During the beginning beginning of the journey, journey, we enjoyed enjoyed good weather, but on our way to the East Indies we were caught caught up in a great storm and choppy seas, choppy seas. Manning, manning the ship with it moving up and down was hard work, and a dozen dozen of our men died either because of the work overload or the poor rations that were doled out to us. Blown, and blown of course by strong winds, we found ourselves ourselves somewhere north of Van Diemen's Land. The next morning, lashed by heavy rain, the Antelope struck rock and foundered, foundered. 6 of us crewmen, crewmen, managed managed to escape, escape from the wreck, wreck, in a lifeboat. So great was the force of the gale, gale, that the boat capsized, capsized. I had no idea what happened, happened, to the other 5, but I managed, managed to survive. As I floated on the water, washed by wind and sea, I felt sure that I was going to die. My legs gave way under me, and to my great surprise, I found I could stand up in the water. I walked on and on before I go to dry land, and then some more searching, searching for a house or someone who could help me. But suddenly I was completely completely exhausted. Exhausted. I collapsed on the short, soft grass and fell into a deep sleep. It was daylight, daylight, when I woke up and found I could not move. Lying on my back, I discovered that my arms and legs were tied down to the ground with strings. My long hair was held down in the same way, and thousands of strings crossed my body and held me to the ground. I could not move. All I could do lying on my back was to look up to the sky. The warm, bright, sunlight began to hurt my eyes. Excuse me. And at the same time, I could hear noises, noises around me. Soon, I felt something, something climb onto my foot and start moving up my body. It came up near my face, turning turning my eyes downwards. Downwards, as far as I could see. I was amazed, amazed, to see a tiny little man. He was not more than 6 inches tall and appeared appeared to be dressed as a soldier. Soldier. Then another, another 40 men like him climbed, climbed onto me and looked into my face. Surprised, surprised, I gave out a great scream, scream. The little man then ran off in fright, fright, and as they jumped, jumped off my body, some of them were injured. Then one of the little men, braver than the rest, climbed, climbed back onto my body, and looking, looking into my face, he threw, threw up his arms and in a clear voice, shouted, something. Others took up his cry, but of course, of course, I could not understand. Understand what they mean. After straining, straining. Okay, children, we will continue the remaining part in the next class. Okay, once go through the today's class. Bye children. Thank you.